Hello guys, it's Brit coming to you live, and in this video I want to talk about opening yourself up to soulmate love, because here's something that I truly believe in, what I found to be true. There are literally hundreds of soulmates around you that are available to you to be in a relationship with, or whatever you're wanting with them. They're there, right? Like, you probably walk by a soulmate once every single day, or like quite often you're interacting with people who are potential soulmates. But here's the thing that most people don't realize is that when you're not energetically open to your soulmates, you won't see them, right? Like, you won't know that it's them, and they might not know that it's you. So what I want to talk about right now is opening yourself up to these soulmates so that when you do find them, you can recognize them. And say hi to me when you pop on. Hi, Oliver. And if you're watching on the replay, comment #replay. So what does it mean to have your energy open? Okay? Having your energy open means that you're living in a state of love. You're living in a state where you're generally like open to love, and you're open to other people, and you have positive expectation in the people around you that, you know, they are potential soulmates. So it's kind of like walking around the opposite of having your guard up, right? So when you're energetically open, you're walking around like with an open heart and with trust and faith, like, okay, people are going to be good to me, love is out there for me, and my soulmates are all around me, and this is all so fun and good. And what most people are doing, though, or what a lot of people are doing, is they're not walking around like that. You know, you can tell by the way people, you know, even are standing sometimes, right? Like, often people are walking around like this, and I mean, even I still do that sometimes, or, you know, we're kind of closed off, and we're kind of like mistrusting people, or we're doubting if the people around us are good and stuff like that. So really, it's an energy thing. Manifesting your soulmate or attracting the love of your life or any love into your life is about your energy state, okay? And being in a state of love and in a state of openness and in a state of like knowing that they're there is how you manifest your soulmate. So how do you go from being fearful and guarded and, you know, suspecting people to be not good for you, or suspecting people to hurt you, into this state of openness and knowing and trust and feeling like, wow, my potential soulmates are everywhere, and all I have to do is energetically open myself up, and I'm going to find them right away, and I'm going to know it's them, and they're going to know it's me, right? So that's the kind of state that you want to get yourself in, and I want to help you get in, is this state of like positive expectation that your soulmates are there, and they're like waiting for you to just get into this place of trust and knowing that they're there. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how I manifested my soulmate. And say hi to me, you guys. Who's on here? I'm seeing some likes. Comment. Say, hey, what's up? Where are you tuning in from? So yeah, there's a few key things that I did to energetically open myself up to many soulmates, and then also the one that I would end up being with. And what it really is about is like getting yourself into this state of love, okay? Hey Manara, what's up, girl? Getting yourself into the state of love and positive expectation. So I don't know how your guys' Christmas was, but I'm feeling called to talk about this. Like, Christmas when you were a kid, right? Like, if you were like me, you expected there to be presents under the tree when it was Christmas, right? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you came from a family where there weren't presents, so then don't use this example. But when it was Christmas time when I was a kid, I always knew that there would be presents under the tree, right? I expected it. And like, it was just a pure state of knowing. So that's kind of how I want you to think about manifesting your soulmates and soulmate men or soulmate women. Is like, you just expect them to be there. Like, when you go out to the bar, you expect to meet a soulmate there. Or like when you go out for your friend's birthday, you expect you're going to run into someone and have an amazing conversation or whatever. Or when you're at Starbucks, you just expect that there are people there who you're going to have a soul connection with. And when you go traveling, you expect to meet people there where you're going to have a soulmate connection. And while not holding any of these soulmates to the standard of like, you have to be the one that I'm going to be with forever and ever and ever, right? But just being in this state of like lightly knowing that all of these soulmates are existing everywhere and starting to have fun with it. Like this is what I started to do when I was manifesting my soulmate, is like getting into this state of like, wow, there are so many amazing people everywhere and I'm just blessed to know them. And how did I get into that state? How did I get into that state? So when you get your heart broken, right, there's this tendency to want to close off and want to look at other people and think of other people like, oh, you're just going to hurt me, right? So what we want to avoid is going into that state, and what we want to do is just lightly start to expect that people are good, okay? And what can be really helpful to do is to like make lists of positive aspects of people and positive relationship experiences that you've had, okay? Because you've got to build yourself up into this knowing that people get to be good to you, right? And so if you've had a lot of shitty traumatic relationship experiences, which most of us have, right? And that's why we have such a strong desire for love anyways, is because things have been not love, right? So what we want to do is deliberately focus on all of the positive qualities that we have had in past relationships. So to open yourself up to your new soulmates, you guys, what you really have to refrain from doing is thinking of all the traumatic stuff that has happened over and over and over again. And this is like such a common human tendency that I see, is that people just tend to relive the negative over and over and over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with that, but if you do that, you might be looking at a repeat manifestation. So you might continue to attract people over and over and over again who are going to play out the same stories that you keep telling. So this is such a simple thing, but it's so hard for us to do. But really the most important thing to become energetically open to your soulmates and to the eventual soulmate that you're going to end up being with, if you want to be in a relationship with your soulmate, is refrain from thinking of all the negative shit of the past, okay? Unless you're able to think about it and still remain in a positive and hopeful state, okay? Hey Eva, what's up? How do I say your name? Aiva? Tell me how to pronounce your name in the comments. So what you really want to refrain from doing is, yeah, talking about the negative stuff, talking about all the traumas and stuff of the past, unless you're able to talk about it in a way like as if you're being a teacher and you're telling a story. Like I can talk about negative things in my relationships now and I feel zero emotional charge. But you have to check in with your emotions. Like when you're talking about the past and you're talking about your past relationships, how are you feeling? Because however you're feeling is what you're going to continue to manifest. And like, I notice this in people a lot when they bring up stuff from the past. I can always feel, because I guess I'm pretty intuitive, if there's an emotional charge there, right? And if there is an emotional charge, it just means that there's still a little bit of healing to do around there, a little bit of rewiring the brain and stuff like that, which I do with my clients, and I use my own Britney Taylor method of healing for that. But like, I cringe when I hear people saying things about their past and like getting that negative emotional response. You can feel it in their body, you can see them tighten up, you can see like the pain is still being held right within the body. And so that's something we want to look at. So when you're talking about your past relationships and when you're talking about, you know, the hurts of the past, it's fine to talk about it because sometimes it comes up, right? Eva, perfect. Sometimes things come up and sometimes there is value in talking about things like when we're talking about what we learned from them, right? But if you want to be more energetically open to meet your new soulmates that you want to have joyous, happy relationships with, when you are thinking of your past relationships, you want to be only focusing on the positive, okay? And what you're going to think right now is, well, Brittany, if I only think of the positive, aren't I just putting on my rose-colored glasses and I'm going to get hurt again? No, it's actually the opposite. Energetically, it is actually the opposite, you guys. And this is like the hardest thing to explain to people, but it's like literally, if you keep thinking about the bad stuff and talking about the bad stuff and being worried about the bad stuff manifesting again, that is exactly what you are going to create into your life, because that's what you're expecting. That's what you're focusing your thought on, right? So like really, if I could just grab people and shake them and think of only positive aspects of all the things in your life, so that you can manifest better relationships, right? Like, my relationships haven't been perfect. I've been treated like shit. I've had a lot of guys do things to me that I didn't think were very nice. But when I think of those guys, I think of their positive qualities. Or if I do think of those things that happen, I find a way to laugh at it and not allow myself to go into negative emotional states, because I understand how I'm creating reality with my thoughts. So really, yeah, the key thing to do to be energetically open to your soulmates is when you're thinking of your past relationships, when you're pondering the entire life scenarios that you've had, you know, from your entire life, you want to focus on the joyful moments, okay? And this can take a lot of practice. You want to put yourself in hypnosis, even like in a light state of relaxation when you go to bed, and literally just ponder all of the wonderful things that have happened in your life, okay? And if you're wanting to manifest love into your life, when you are thinking of your past relationships, for the love of God, think of the positive aspects of them. And if you say something like, well, Britney, there was nothing positive about my ex, he was a narcissist and it was all this bullshit and blah, 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 blah. Okay, there has to have been something positive about that relationship, or you would never have been in it for even 1 minute, right? There's got to be some benefit to it. So you want to literally brainwash yourself to only think of positive things. Charity Brown, Power of the Mind, Thoughts Are Real. Absolutely. Hi, Scott. And say hi to me, you guys. There's a bunch of you guys on here who I believe have not said hi, so I would really appreciate it if you would say hi. And especially if you're watching on the replay, please also say hi. Hi, Rebecca. I have no sound right now, but just watching you move around in your element is inspiring as fuck. That's awesome. Yeah, see, you don't even actually have to hear the words that I'm saying. You are getting an energetic transmission just by being in these vibes. Wouldn't you agree? Give me some hearts if you agree. It's an energetic thing. It's a soul connection thing, baby. It's nothing to do with the words that I'm actually saying. It's the energy that I'm being, and your soul to my soul, or my soul to your soul, you feel that soul resonance, okay? And you're giving the heart, so you get it. You're on my level. Hey, Conrad, what's up? So, to be open to your soulmate and to be open to your soulmate dream life, you have to just lightly start to expect that good things get to happen to you. And I'm not saying that like instantly after you make this decision, all of a sudden every day you're gonna just think, wow, my life is a dream and everything positive is happening all the time. No, there's still gonna be moments where you're like, this shit is bullshit and my life still sucks, and where's my soulmate? Britney said if I did this, my soulmate would be here, and where the fuck is he? You're still gonna have moments like that, right? And that's so normal and that's so human, but it's like not allowing those moments to define your absolute truth of what gets to be your life, okay? Hey, Laura from Alaska. Cool. I like knowing where people are from, that's fun. I've never been to Alaska, actually. I have not. And I feel like it's not actually that far from me at all. Well, it would take a bit to get there, but it's not like super far. So yeah, it's like, it's a process. It's a process, you guys, of allowing yourself to expect good, because part of the human condition, and if you look around you, a lot of us have actually programmed ourselves to worry and think of the worst and expect the worst from people. Like a lot of my girlfriends and clients and you know, people where we talk about dating and stuff, it's like we're so worried of being abandoned. Like we almost like expect it, right? We start to expect that things are going to not go well, or that, you know, the same shitty things are going to happen over and over and over again. And guess what? Your expectation creates that. But here is the part that is hopeful for all of you, especially if you really relate to being, you know, kind of a worrier or a little bit paranoid in your relationships, or a little bit jealous, right? All you have to do is positively expect things to turn out well, like for you, 51% of the time. Okay? So you don't have to go around believing all the time, you know, that everything gets to be good. Like, you're still allowed to have your human worries and fears. But as long as you at least more than halfway believe that shit gets to be good, you'll start to manifest things that get to be very, very good in your life. And like, think about it like this. This might be helpful to you. So I assume that most of you watching this video are on the spiritual path, right? You've done some work with law of attraction, manifestation, and healing and stuff like that. And you're trying to manifest your soulmate. Like, this is like what I was doing, right? Well, think about all the people who actually don't know anything about manifestation, or don't know anything about law of attraction or healing, or haven't done any healing work on themselves, or haven't read a fucking book in their life, right? Think of these people. And a lot of people still manage to manifest their soulmates. And actually, since the beginning of time, people have been manifesting love. Since before books even existed, since before healing even existed, people have been, you know, banging each other and making babies and creating families and falling in love, right? It's such a basic human instinct that literally you could never watch another video of mine again. You could never do anything ever again, like to work on yourself, or you could never read another book again, or I think I already said that. And you could still manifest love. And actually, that is what is natural for humans. Like, what I really want to drill into your brain to open you up to soulmate love is like, love is the natural human response. And like, sex and love and being with the opposite sex in a relationship is like the most natural thing in the world. It should just be as easy as breathing. It should be something that is just such a freaking no-brainer that obviously it gets to happen for you, that like you actually don't even have to think about it, or you don't even have to worry about it. It just is. It's like breathing air. Like, manifesting your soulmate love should be just as easy as in breath, out breath. Of course I get to manifest my soulmate. In and out. It's so freaking easy, right? And the only reason that it seems like it's not is because you've got some stuff going on in here, this fierce as fuck brain of yours, that is contradicting the true nature of who you are, which is that you are love and everybody else is love, and actually being in love is the most natural thing in the world, right? But you're cursing it with your negative thoughts about yourself, about relationships, about life, and probably because of your childhood traumas that are just being recreated over and over again in your relationships. And that's why shit always goes to shit, but it needn't be that way. Okay? Yep. Yep to the last two comments. Yep. Agreed. So, to summarize, love is the most natural thing in the world. It is natural to love and be loved. And if you're having a hard time manifesting your soulmate or manifesting love, this is not to feel bad about yourself for where you are, because whenever you're feeling bad about yourself, you're actually just making it worse. You're making it harder to get out of that state. So find peace with where you are, even if you feel like love isn't as natural as breathing. But understand that it is. And if it doesn't feel like love and relationships are as natural as breathing for you, understand that it's because you, and only you, have some stuff going on within your own mind that is blocking you from the truth of who you are. Okay? And nobody's perfect. We all have our stuff. Okay? But I just want you to know that love is the most natural thing in the world. Your soul is love. If you dedicate your life to connecting with your soul and connecting with life and with everyone else in it, and connecting with the energy of unconditional love, you will see the truth for what it really is. That love is actually what's easy. It's easy to pop back into a state of love. We naturally do it all the time when we, look at a puppy or look at a baby or something. We all pop back into love, right? And like when we're watching, a romantic movie or something, even the most miserable fuck in the world, watching a movie about love or dogs or something like that, it will open up the heart, because love is actually the most natural thing in the world. It's the most natural energy in the world. And If you find that you keep blocking love, it's you, right? It's you. It's not because of what other people are doing. It's because of what you are doing in your own brain with your thoughts. But the good news is that it doesn't necessarily have to take a long time to rewire this shit. All it takes is changing those beliefs and starting to positively expect good things to manifest into your life. I mean, that's how I've done it, is just lightly manifesting and then lightly expecting. And then once you lightly expect something for a while, so you're kind of just like, wouldn't it be nice if this good thing happened in my life? Or wouldn't it be nice if this good thing happened in my life, right? Then it starts to change from that just wouldn't it be nice sort of state to a full-blown like, this is real life and this is happening. And then once you get from that state to that state, it's like, it's already done, and it'll manifest so freaking fast. So being open to your soulmates is about positive expectation. And so in order to positively expect, you have to rewire your brain and unconscious mind to literally think of only the positive things in your relationships, at least most of the time when you're pondering and you're thinking about the things that have happened in your life. Think of those positive things, because then you will start to expect other positive things to happen, and then it won't be very long where the love of your life can just pop in and you'll recognize them, because like I said at the beginning of this, you guys, your soulmates are everywhere. Like, there's probably 100 potential soulmates at least for each of you watching this live stream that are ready to be there with you, okay? They're ready to be with you. They're wanting what you're wanting. You're their dream woman and they're your dream man, or vice versa. Like, there's 100 of these people out there for you, right? And all you have to do is energetically open yourself up to that, right? And how do you do that? You do that by training your brain to only see the good in your past relationships and to expect goodness, right? You have to start to believe that you are a person whom good things happen to all the time, right? Good things like love and manifesting the love of your life and manifesting your dream life, all of these kind of things are just what happens to you naturally, okay? So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my latest program, Manifest Your Dream Life School, which is gonna be launching in the next few days. This is gonna be a 5-week group coaching program, so a group program where you also get some one-on-one access with me as well. So stay tuned for this if you wanna manifest your dream life, you wanna manifest the love of your life, and live in a state of more joy than you've ever known. You're gonna wanna see this. So we'll talk super soon. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And remember, you came for the joy of living. Bye, guys.